Welcome to Shogun Bros No DECAFF, where passion meets purpose in the world of dogs. We go beyond the surface, covering care, training, breeding, husbandry, showing, genetics, and the history behind the breeds that shape our culture. We're here to inform, inspire, and keep it real. No hype, no shortcuts, and definitely no DECAFF. Join us Monday through Friday at 4:30 Arizona time. No daylight savings, no nonsense, just honest conversations about what it really takes to raise, train, and understand great dogs. This is Shogun Bros No DECAFF. Let's get started. Disclaimer: we do not participate in any illegal activity and will not violate any animal or human rights. All opinions shared on this podcast are the individual thoughts of the speaker and do not reflect the thoughts or opinions of our guest or the host. In other words, your words are your words and your thoughts are your thoughts, not mine. Say it. Stand on it.
Yo, what's good, big dog?
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, man. We back in here. Back in here, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What's happening?
Shoot. Yeah, man. This episode gonna be kind of quick, man, because this is a recap episode. I also got to be at work early this morning, so
Yeah,
I wanted to get in here and get live and get to it. But there's a few things I want to cover before we get into the episode too much. All it is, man, relearning how to read a pedigree. That's it. That's it, man. So before I get into that, let me show y'all the dogs that have won this week. The pup of the week right now is High Voltage Kennels. Zaza.
hey.
You also have High Voltage Kennels Monkey that won the dog of the week. Fine looking animal.
Mm-hmm.
You have the dog of the month, Pitwise Kennels Oren Ishii.
Yes, sir.
And you have Big C's Cash Dog as dog of the quarter.
Hey.
Salute to all them great brothers and sisters that entered, competed against them. Man, thank y'all for what y'all do, man. We appreciate it. And appreciate y'all showing the dogs in a positive light, man, or at least what I consider a positive light, to each his own, you know what I'm saying? We got some legends in the chat, man. Before we get to that, Big A, you got anything you want to cook on?
Nah, man. Nah, bro. We man, they in the chat, boy.
Yeah, they in there. Man. And let me give some special shouts out, man. Shout out to the Queen, Miss McFarland. Salute.
Hey.
Shout out to one of our longest running members ever, Heart and Finish Kennels for 26 months. Salute, big dog.
Salute.
Lil J on the track.
Look, Jay.
Student for life, dog training in the building. What it do, big dog?
Hey, what's happening?
Yes, sir. Quick FC7 in the building.
Hey.
Mike Dan, OG Mike Dan.
Man.
Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all coming through here, man. And like I said, man, this is about getting it right. I'm actually gonna put myself out there this morning with a pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna explain what I think about a pedigree and some of the terminologies and stuff. And then we're gonna relearn this together because, man, maybe I have been getting it wrong, you know what I'm saying? But I don't mind fixing it, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind it at all. And so with that being said, man, let me get to it. Let me give this announcement. Digital Dog Show will be obviously the first weekend in December, but you have it to the end of November to enter the Digital Dog Show. For Dog of the Week and Pup of the Week, they got their own WhatsApp. The Digital Dog Show has its own WhatsApp. You do what you want to with that, man. Also, I gotta give a special shout out to Student for Life, one of our few competitors that ever competed and passed the online obedience challenge, man.
Yeah.
Salute for that, man. Salute the Torch and Ember.
Salute.
Yeah, man. Big up. So why is this episode? Why does it hit so hard?
What?
Most people think they know how to read a pedigree. but they only look at the names, not the patterns, not the traits, not the genetic risk, or the historical markers. This episode resets the foundation and teaches our viewers how to truly understand. We're looking at what's important, what's misleading, and what's hidden between the lines. In this masterclass, we're going to elevate the audience and strengthen the whole dog community.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Sir. Wee boy. Yeah, man.
So without further ado, let me get this pedigree pulled up, man, and
yeah, let me do
go
this
through.
code.
Yeah.
That is Chi. Wisdom. Wisdom is not knowledge. It's the ability to apply knowledge. The pedigree is information. Understanding it is wisdom. Bloodlines don't lie, but people do. Learn how to read what's real.
Bloodlines don't lie, but people do, man. That's hard. That's hard. And that's all right. So I got the pedigree for Yellow John up, and we rocking with this pedigree this morning. I use this pedigree for everything because this is like my ideology on. This is my ideology on how pedigree is supposed to work and everything. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying it's right or wrong. It's just saying this is what I use. You know, and this is the roadmap that I prefer. There's a lot of different ways to breed and to get things done, but overall, man, this is the way, and this is what I want to use. The first thing I want to tell you is this is on online PEDS, okay? And online PEDS does not allow there to be any filtering system. If you have an account, you can create a pedigree. You can create dogs that didn't exist. You can change pedigrees. So I do want to put that out there as a disclaimer. This is for reference use only, at best. You know, even with the registries, you can get a pedigree back from a registry, and it can say a certain thing. But with modern technology, man, the only thing you can really go off of is dogs that are at least DNA profile to be what they say they are, and even then, there's human error involved in that as well. There are some dogs that are siblings that are so closely related that it could appear that the sibling is the parent of that animal, just because genetically the genetic diversity is not diverse enough for doing what they do. But aside from that, man, this is the online PEDS version of what we got going on today. So, champion, Chavis Yellow John, 4-time winner, register of merit. And I use this dog because I believe in this breeding strategy is what I use for my own personal yard. And I can't tell other people how to do what they do with their stuff, man. I can only speak on what I see here. Now, beginning with this, I think it was Hard Finish today. Start quarter by quarter. Hold on. I believe quarter by quarter is the best way to go with this, like he said. And I want to start off with the fourth quarter. This is a heavy Kobe's and Lopase's influence dog. I'm gonna get some feedback, Big A. In between, can we mute with me? Oh, hold on. And so, with the Kobe's Dime, Kobe's Margie, Teal's Jake, all of these dogs were put together pretty well. But I go down to the third gen. That's where I want to start at for me, and it's kind of like after we made the Bacardi and the Knucklehead cross. That's where this third generation looks like, right? And I'm specifically talking about in the bottom quarter of the third generation. You got Bash, Tramp, Red Boy, 2-time winner, register of merit, and Bass's Cleo, right? Now, Red Boy, I don't know how he was bred. I'm not even gonna try to fabricate how he was bred. There's been so many arguments about that. This episode's not about how Red Boy was bred. It's about what happened after that, right? He was bred to Lapace's Cash and Bobby dog named Cleo. Okay, So that is a, I ain't gonna say a cross, but it's not heavily inbred. Line breeding at best, loose line breeding at best, right? All right. And then if you really, I'm only looking at the bottom because the top is just red boy. The top culminates with red boy, the same dog we're talking about right here. So third generation, I don't know if y'all can see my mouse hovering around it, but I'm talking about these two dogs right here. The one that's highlighted in blue and the one that's highlighted in black. All right. So these two dogs were bred together. All right. And I'm like, this is not in social intelligence, but for everybody who just genuinely doesn't know how to read pedigrees, the two dogs touching right here, there's one on top and one on the bottom. That's the top side is the sire or the male. And the bottom side is the dam or the female. And it goes up like this right here. And every two dogs, the next line over is the offspring of that animal. It's easier to read the online peds because it's linear. They fit inside the box next to them to make it easier to read. A lot of times on like real pedigrees or like paper pedigrees, you gotta kind of draw those lines yourself because it doesn't necessarily line up perfectly. But you can get the gist and you can understand how a dog is supposed to be bred. And a lot of mistakes have been made on online peds because somebody misinterpreted what was actually the dam and the sire for a specific dog on the actual pedigree paperwork. So a lot of mistakes are made on online peds. It's not the most reliable thing. It's just a way to track your dog's lineage. That's it. If you build your own pedigrees, cool. If you decide to let somebody else build your pedigrees, cool. But every time you get an information, you're spreading that information to the world because online peds is accessible by most people. And even if you make the pedigree private, if you have offspring or something that's associated with a dog, it'll do that. All right. So
you still got feedback?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And so that's that with that. All right. But moving on to this fourth generation right here. From the fourth generation to third generation, the dog I'm focused on is Red Boy and Cleo. Red Boy and Cleo. Okay. Red Boy was bred to Cleo to make Bass's cat. And then they took the same dog, Bass Tramp Red Boy, and bred it to Cat to make Marlowe's Feather. All right. And then they took the same dog and bred Red Boy to Feather to make Champion Chavish Yellow John. All right. Now, the reason I broke down this pet is this to me is a good line breeding on Red Boy. And when I say line, when I think about line on a pedigree, I can draw a line down one side or the other side to identify a specific dog that was being focused on in a pedigree, right? Like I've seen sometimes another way you can do it is when I would say it's just an inbred dog. This is the inbred line bred dog, right? It's heavily inbred, it's line bred, it's on the same dog over and over again. Inbred dog, let me create it. It is inbred, heavy inbreeding. All right, let me find the offspring of this, and I'll show you what I would consider a line bred dog. But just looking at the pedigree, understand the pedigree. This is an inbred dog, and it's triple bred on Red Boy, 3 times Red Boy. All right. Now, mind you, some people would say it's more than that because each one of these dogs right here has Red Boy in it as well. But like I'm just saying, this is a 3-time Red Boy dog when I look at it. If I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong, chat, because that's the way I interpret this. That don't make it right or wrong, you know. But yeah. Oh, wifey, top of the morning, babe. Top of the morning. But yeah, does anybody have a different interpretation of this being a inbred, line bred dog? I'm asking. And Big A, feel free to chime in too, bro.
Yeah, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. This is pretty much straightforward and self-explanatory. So I'm just sitting there taking it in, man.
Okay. All right. So Chavish Yellow John is like my go-to for looking at the pedigree. For I ain't gonna say not even making your own line, but making a line of dogs, right? Like having a dog that is consistent. What I would expect to see out of a dog bred like him is consistent traits, color, size, because it's so heavily bred on Red Boy. Grand Champion Yellow is a dog I like to use. People are familiar with him. He's very popular. He was a Grand Champion. He was a registered merit. He produced dogs like the legendary Mayday. Good example of a well-made cross. And which Grand Champion Yellow, as you can see, the Yellow John dog we were just talking about, triple inbred on Red Boy, is his father, the sire. Okay. The dam is Tance Miss Jocko. She's coming out off of Jocko on the top side and the bottom side. This dog is a double bred Jocko dog. But also you gotta look at, if Jocko's in there, then Queenie and Hank is in there as well. Some people will call it a Hank dog, but I would just say Jocko because right now Miss Jocko is up close, and her direct ancestor is Jocko. So when people call this a Red Boy Jocko cross, I'm just saying, when I say a cross, I'm talking about what's on top and what's on the bottom, not percentages. That's another thing that's misunderstood as well. I don't care if it's a 25% Red Boy dog and a 75% Jocko dog. I don't go off of percentages when I'm identifying a cross. It's Red Boy Jocko. If it was Jocko on top of a Red Boy female, I would call it a Jocko Red Boy female. That's just how I identify. And this is only to clarify what's being said when I'm talking to anybody who I talk to about dogs and things of that nature. And Student Flight said, that's MKM, he said, I like, that's how I like them bred as well, Uncle Thesis. Yeah. Cino, what's good, big dog? But but yeah, man, like in these situations right here, man, I'm just going off of what's on top and what's on the bottom. That's how I identify. Like if you say Bolio Tombstone or Tombstone Bolio, the sire had to be the one that's predominantly a Tombstone dog, or vice versa. That's what I'm talking about. Like, when we start talking about percentages, man, I don't know what their real percentage is. Just because they bred a certain way doesn't mean that dog received that percentage of the parents' mitochondrial DNA and all that stuff. I'm not a geneticist. I'm just telling you, like, when the male goes on top because that's where it appears on paperwork, and the female goes on the bottom when I'm speaking on breeders. But you could break it down by which dog has the greater percentage of influence or possible genetic influence on the puppy. That's another way. I hear people identify it that way too. But understanding the pedigree and understanding how to communicate a pedigree, basically, it doesn't matter how Dre communicates if you don't do business with Dre or you don't breed with Dre. It doesn't matter what I say. What matters is, do you understand the pedigree or how it's been articulated to you by the individual you're choosing to either purchase an animal from, breed to, or release animals to? You kind of owe that responsibility to anybody who you are relinquishing a dog to or getting a dog from, to understand how they describe their own blood. Now, being right or wrong, that's neither here nor there. If you like the dog, you like the dog. Because once again, I told you, online peds and real pedigrees, to me, they all lies. It's all cap. You know, all I can believe is the dogs that I can see. But understanding your pedigree is kind of a big deal, you know. So with this dog right here, starting the 4th generation, we know that the dogs behind this dog equate to Red Boy in some way. And those dogs being bred Red Boy to his granddaughter, Marlowe's Red Feather, make Yellow John. If you can understand that, then you got it. This dog is bred really tight, and we probably need it out. Just looking at common breeding practices. They bred heavily on Hank or heavily on Jocko, however you want to say it. This dog is bred tight. So we tight on Jocko. I got a female tight on Jocko. I got a male tight on Red Boy. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna put them together because they both have. If you can see the ped is lit up, if this is at all true, or like, you know what I'm saying, if the story works out like the fairy tale like it's supposed to work out, I put this good dog on top of this good dog, and I should get a good dog. And out of that result, you got Grand Champion Test Yellow, 6-time winner registered merit. Okay. I just use these dogs that everybody knows to elaborate upon how pedigrees are articulated. I don't really like doing pedigree talk because at the end of the day, I don't know none of these dogs personally. I didn't put hands on them. I didn't rub them. I didn't get to see how well they were trained. None of that stuff, right? But just tracking it down, I would say this is a Red Boy bred dog on top of a Jocko female, and that is the basic pedigree synopsis for today. But I also said in the introduction that I was going to talk about traits behind the dogs. Traits behind the dogs. And these stories and things, they're not from me. They're what I could get from forums, what I get from listening to old heads that were there talk about it. And these are the things that really interest me about these dogs. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like I'm really not a fan of big yellow dogs personally, but everybody likes them. So if y'all like them and y'all familiar with them, it's easier to break it down, and you can even help me break it down.
Yeah, man.
Big Steve, what do you do, big dog? Yeah, man. But yeah. So with traits of the red boy dog, this is the traits that I've heard. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard, and most of y'all have heard it too. It ain't no secret. Red boy dogs supposed to be game, to be rugged and durable, high energy, and they can have mouth, but most of them were mediocre to moderate at best, right? I don't really know of any pure red boy dogs that I heard of that were like super destructive. They might have had good mouth, comparable to other lines, but I haven't heard of anything that was like pure, that was just like a devastator from the stories and the things I've heard of. And if it was the exception to the rule. It wasn't the rule. But the generalized rule that I've seen with my own eyes off of the red boy dogs was they were rangy, they were taller, they were lankier. A lot of them were red dogs. The belief is if I get a Brenda one, it's got to have Kitten's Britches or Brandy Girl somewhere in the bloodline. That's just common traits that if somebody's talking to me and they show me a pedigree that's lined up like that, a Brenda red boy dog, these are certain things I just look for because I was just taught it. I can't even tell you at what year I learned it. I was just taught these things through life and experience, and it became something that's just understood. So when I'm listening to somebody talk about a pedigree or show me a dog, and it doesn't line up with what I was told, I'm like, well, let me give them a chance. Let me look at the dog and see what their dog brings to the table. And typically, it's not going to work out because I'm looking for a specific thing, and I'm looking for the dog that has the pedigree that matches what I expected it to look like. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for the V8 that goes with the V8 title. I'm not looking for, you know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for a Humvee or a tank to go with the title for a V8 car. And then we go. I don't know much about Jocko at all. I'm really not a fan of Jocko personally. Shout out to Mad Doctor. He talks about the Hank dogs all the time and stuff. But I don't know nothing about them to be telling you about them. I was just it's my opinion that they bring they brought the mouth and the tenacity to the gameness and the wind and the ranginess of the red boy dogs. And I think Grand Champion Yellow was a grand example of that. But I don't know that. I don't have no Jocko stories for you. You know what I'm saying? The only Jocko story I got was I was told that Jocko was lost because he was sold to a man that lived an alternative lifestyle, and in a match or something like that, something broke out around the dogs, and he ended up unaliving somebody, and the dog were confiscated by the police, and that was the end of Jocko. That's what I was told. I don't know how true or not that is. That's the only thing I can tell you about Jocko, and I don't even know the validity of that story, right? I want to say I heard that maybe in like a Bob Rass interview or something like that, but don't quote me on that either. I'm not saying Bob Rass said that. I'm just trying to remember where I heard these stories. I don't really be caring because like I don't chase the bloodline for neither one of these dogs. But that's what I was told. And understand the pedigree, I can't really do much off of a pedigree like that for what I do. I'm looking for a dog that has trainability. I'm looking for a dog that can do the modern stuff that I'm into, right? And it's not to sway or change none of y'all opinion on that, but that's what I look for. So when I hear about dogs like Jeep, when I hear about dogs like Bob Stevens dogs, Bob Stevens was in the journal advertising his dogs for protection work. When I hear about Bert Sorrell's dogs who have a natural disposition to be aloof to human beings, but not skittish. Aloof and a skittish are not the same thing. Those lines are naturally going to attract me. So then I'm like, once I see those pedigrees, now I want to go see if that dog matches up to the pedigree. With a red boy Jocko dog, I would have to see the dog first, see that they got his dog sitting and he'd stay and he'd jump through hurdles and all this cool stuff, you know what I'm saying? Then I would be interested in the pedigree after the fact with a dog like that. So it depends on the primacy and the legacy behind each one of these dogs, how I seek them out. And that's why I think explaining the pedigree, it depends on if you got even a roadmap for it. If you're new to it, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter who I'm talking to. Like, if you're new to it, you got to go find the dogs you like and put the pedigree together after that. But over to you, Big A.
Yeah, big facts, man. Yeah, I'm not a big pedigree kind of guy, man. I'm a dog guy. You know, I more invested in the dogs before me, or you know, the dogs that I'm looking at to go in that direction than I am the paperwork. Um, I'd be more me. This is just me personally. Just me personally. I would be more concerned about the paperwork from the dog with the dog leaving the yard versus coming to the yard. You know, because I can't get caught up in all of that. You know, running off of what's depending on the pedigree to be matching in the whole nine. When I'm more concerned about the action of the dog and what the dog is doing. Um, I'm not no, you know what I'm saying, no guru or anything of that sort, and I don't try to play like that, but I am more so in the mind mentality of like a hog hunter type deal. Even though I don't hog hunt or nothing like that, I am concerned about the breed being what it's supposed to be. But I'm more concerned about, I don't care, about the bloodline. I don't care about any of that stuff. I care about, can the dog do what I wanted to do, what I needed to do? And of course, like I say, I definitely want it to be what it's supposed to be as far as the breed. But as far as the bloodline is concerned, man, you know, it just is what it is, man. You're gonna get the real and you're gonna get the fake, but the real is what's playing before your eyes, the fake is what's being said. But yeah.
And I be hating when I see like some of the stuff going on, man. Like you pay your good money for a good pedigree, man, and you want that pedigree. And there's a pride to it, because some of y'all know these stories way better than I do, or you were told by your mentors and stuff about these dogs, and it's like waiting for your dream car, your dream house, man. You finally get it, and then in the age of information, man, something comes out and it changes the direction of that, man, and that's when you play with people's money, man, you playing a dangerous game, bro. You're playing a dangerous game, and that's why I've had my heart broken on getting a dog before that it wasn't what they said it was, right?
Me too.
And maybe the dog was bred right, and I just got a bad one. But overall, it was never about how it was bred. It was about what could the dog do. What could the dog do? There's a lot of dogs that I get or have ran through in the past that they were good for other people's camps. You know what I'm saying? Those people were maybe more traditionalists, or they had a less disciplined approach to training. They were more just letting them be dogs, and that will work out. But when you're seeking a specific quality in your dogs, you have to breed for specific things. And in the American Pit Bull Terrier, there are some dogs in the litter that may have the qualities you're looking for. There's some that are completely different. And then there's some that just don't work out for nobody. You know what I'm saying? There's some that just don't work out for nobody. And those ones, they have to go to Winn-Dixie. But I think that it's in the eye of the beholder once you get the dog.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I definitely agree.
Yeah, man. But I do like the Jeep Red Boy Rascal crosses.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like the Spike Frisco dogs. And specifically out of those lines, I like the ones that are predisposed to the work.
Yeah.
They got to be tenacious, and they have to be willing to basically this is what I look for. After I see a pedigree like that, does the dog have a decent drive to prey on things, right? Mm-hmm. Will it chase things without being coerced into chasing them? Will it work the meal without being coerced to work in the meal? These are traits that I look for because those same traits can be used for pretty much anything. If you like any dog that has that a high drive, you can kind of manipulate that into whatever you want it to be. So as I build my pedigree for my own personal stock, high drive is like, I would say probably one of the highest things in there. Like trainability comes from high drive to me. Maybe not necessarily intelligence, but a dog that has high drive, I can manipulate its behavior because I know it's going to chase this. I know it's going to sit down when I do this because the dog just wants to bite something or grab something or work something.
Yeah,
I can use. Hold on, Big A, because the dog is willing to do the thing, whether it's intelligent or not. The dog is willing to do it just because he wants to bite or food or the toy or whatever it is that I want him to have. That helps out with the work. And so what I've started doing is, okay, I look at, let's say Big A. Big A got a different dog. He goes get a dog from somebody else, right? And he has a female. She's really high drive, right? But maybe her intelligence level ain't that high. And I got one, he has moderate drive, but he has a high level of intelligence. I want to put those together and then see which puppies have basically more drive than the male and more intelligence than the female. Okay, to me, that's the better dog on the next generation. And then I would take that dog and maybe take it back to one of the parents or a sibling or auntie or uncle and see if I can produce some of that quality, of that caliber or higher. And then we do that for 2 or 3 generations, right? And that would be building either the top side or the bottom side. Then I would go find another camp that does similar work. Like 2 weeks ago, we had Brother DeJuan Fields on here, and he was talking about he trains with his dogs and he does things with his dogs. And so I'm like, okay, these dogs work. My dogs do a little bit of work as far as like training, scent work, bite work, whatever. I want to put these together and see if I can lock that in with two, you know what I'm saying, and loosen up that genetic, make it a little bit more genetically diverse and continue the process. And you rinse, wash, and repeat. That's how I build a pedigree, right? If you're doing wall climb, then go find your dog that jumps really high on the wall, breed that to another dog that jumps really high on the wall. See if you can take those back to each other and make more just like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how I would build a pedigree for a wall climb dog. I don't care what their pedigree started like. Can they do what it is, the task that I set out to do? And then the pedigree should appear based upon the individuals that you found in those families of dogs, that by putting them together, you got a either equal or better product of the previous generation. Because you're not always gonna get better. Sometimes you got a phenomenal athlete. You just have happy to get something close to it again. I don't think that all the Grand Champion Yellows offspring were Grand Champion Yellows, but you did get some good dogs out of it, to include Mayday. Young Fam said something solid. He said, learning to work tools, is that traits or learned behaviors? Prime is lazy on ropes and toys, but a hide, you better watch. So, okay, I give you what I'm talking about. That's a good question, Young Fam, a very good question. And this is how I answer that question. There are dogs that have to be coaxed into chasing things and doing things like that nature. And I ain't got time for that personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's better dogs out there that can be coaxed into or nurtured into chasing things and doing things of that nature, right? But what I personally look for is the dog that, okay, 6 weeks, 8 weeks old, they're already just doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I take anything, a rag, a sock, or anything, and throw it out, they're gonna go get it, right? Okay, and I just transfer it to whatever toy I want to transfer that to. That's easier work for me, you know what I'm saying? And then as you add more dogs, if I gotta coax all of them and build all of them up to that point, that doesn't work for as fast as I'm trying to move. But I'm not saying it doesn't work, right? So maybe he doesn't like the ropes. I had dogs that didn't like ropes. I didn't keep them because it, like how I train and the things that I do, those dogs didn't work out for what I like to do in my program. They didn't fit my needs. But the people they went to, they loved them just fine because they didn't care about no chewing on the rope and nothing like that. They wanted them for other purposes. So yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's just And I think most of them will fire from that hide too. They like to hide a lot. Salute Schoolcraft. Big C said line breeding and loose line breeding with a family of dogs. Doesn't like seeing those throwback puppies pop up unexpectedly. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think that's an exception to the rule when they do pop up. I don't think that is the rule. Let me see. Six dog, what it do? Big dog, herders and bulldogs, what it do? But yeah, man. Oh yeah, Big A. There you go. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that? What Young Fan was saying about the dogs that won't tug and stuff. How do you feel about that, Big A?
About the line breeding and loose line breeding.
Well, no, about the dog. Like he said, like his dog don't really fool with the tug like that, but he work to hide. As far as like he asked, was that a trait or is that something that's nurtured or kind of like trained into the dog?
I think it's a little bit of both, man. You be surprised to just having those a dog that lacks the drive that you're looking for. If you had dogs on on your yard and your house that have that drive, and you keep that dog around that dog, man, it can bring it out of that dog. That dog can pick up on it. Some dogs will just pick up on it like that, and some dogs won't. And with that being said, if it were a learned behavior, that learned behavior in turn could become a trait. If it's kept it on the yard and practice consistently. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe it could become a trait. No different than you having a yard full of dogs and they're good and everything's cool, and then you get a new dog, bring it to the yard, and this dog digging up everything. And you turn around and a week later, you got holes everywhere in your yard because all the dogs are digging up everything. You get upset with that dog. You like, I can't have this dog here. You remove that particular dog from your yard, but your dogs are still digging on that damn yard. Now you got an issue to try to break. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, if you don't address that situation, it can become a trait. It'll be the generational type of deal that you're dealing with. So yeah, I believe that learned behaviors can become traits. Not all, but some. If you know what you're doing and how to address the situation.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, man. And that's true too. Like, very, very good statement. It could be the influence of the dogs around them too. But in my situation, I had dogs that would tug and dogs that wouldn't tug on the same yard. And so even with them seeing the dogs tugging and being rewarded, they didn't really care for the spring pole.
Yeah, because some dogs will pick up on it and some dogs won't. And I would say that would be your final determination is if you want to move forward with the dog from a working standard, just from a pet standard. It's no different than you trying to seeing a dog that's lacking in drive or spunkiness, and then you taking it over to your mentor's house. You know what I'm saying? And dropping it off over there for a week. And then getting the dog back, and the dog is a completely different dog, or it's not. If it's not, then you, in your mind, you like, I don't know if I want to move forward with this dog.
Yeah. I think Schoolcraft had a good statement too, man. He said, man, I got a couple dogs that's good dogs, but they lazy as heck. So I'm trying to breed those traits out. And ain't nothing wrong with it either, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. And I don't mind a lazy dog. Y'all know I go to dog shows, in-person dog shows and stuff, man. So I don't mind a lazy dog that's naturally like conformationally sound. I don't mind that. But as far as my training, the training side of my program works, are they willing to do that kind of work? You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily got to be like the tugging and all that stuff, man. But the tug make it really easy to teach them to sit and stay and down and all that stuff, man. So I'm looking at the tools that I'm familiar with using and how the dogs work out for my life. You know what I mean? You can always get better. Okay, and then the Big C said, look at the question about the litter. Okay. So Big C said, Dre, if you would have got a black pup out of your last litter, would you have kept it no matter the sex? It would have really depended on who had deposits on puppies and which one they wanted. Because typically my puppies, I let everybody else pick first, because I genuinely believe in that, like, it's a genetic lottery. So my goal is to produce as many puppies as I can off of a litter that have the qualities I want. If I get a buckskin black mass, that's my preference of my litter. If all of them are tugging, all of them are doing the same kind of activities, I'm gonna go with buckskin black mass every time. If all I had was a litter of black puppies, I would pick the one that has the qualities that are most like the other dogs on the yard, though. You know, they started tugging at an early age. They weren't afraid of the e-mill. They weren't afraid of the slap mill. They were really easy to get put next to a bicycle. They're not really scared of the bicycle. They don't show timidity near the road. Less car sickness. That's what I'm picking out of the puppy, man. Out of that, and then those qualities are just developed. I've developed on those qualities to the best of my ability throughout the life cycle of that dog. But the color, black or buckskin, it don't matter as long as the dog is suffice to commensurate with the other dogs on the yard. You know, if I don't believe the dog is going to add value to the yard, then it needs to move on to somebody else's yard. You know.
Yeah. But
and like I said, go ahead, bro.
Oh, if it was a black dog and it was confirmationally sound, I'd take it, Dre.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't like black dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But if I got to go out in color preference, it's gonna be buckskin all day. And it's not saying the black dogs are any worse or any better, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be my only concern if it came out of out of old yellow line. Is it confirmationally sound? And so then, let's move with it.
And even if it wasn't confirmationally sound, does it do? Let's say it outwork all the other ones, but it's not confirmationally sound. I'm still picking that dog. I'm still picking that dog. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll take it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the confirmation stuff, man. That is a plus to me. That's not the measuring stick.
For me, the only thing that would kind of stop me would be health reasons.
Yeah, man. Schoolcraft say, I mean, lazy. Like, won't run a meal, won't run with a bike, barely want to walk long distance.
Yeah.
But if the dog worked for you, the dog worked for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know dogs right now, you can put them on a chain and that's all you need, and they will win every competition show they go to. I've seen dogs that are that genetically superior to other dogs. I don't have that. My dogs, they cut up real easy, but they're not that. But I've seen chain dogs that look like best in show, best conditioned dogs, just on a chain, because the dog on the chain, they just pace themselves around. They barking at other dogs. They barking at cats and butterflies. They run by. They work themselves all day. What's up?
Hard keepers.
Well, I've seen some that's not even hard keepers. They just I don't know, got high prey drive, I guess you would call it. But they literally all day they just moving. But they're not tearing up houses. I know some of them that's like that too. I know some hard keepers that work all day and they don't look good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're not muscular. They don't have the vascularity. They don't have the long ribs. They don't have the ribs that sit just above the elbow. They don't have a good stop. They don't have the things we talked about last Thursday, on a confirmation standard. But then you got some, they just like people. I got homeboys, they can do 3 push-ups and be swole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the dogs I'm talking. Like, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking to his question. I know dogs like that, and if that works for you, that works for you. It don't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's easier for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't be lazy and tearing up stuff though. That'd be a problem.
Yeah.
Because I gotta run that energy out of you somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these things we talk about right now, these are individual traits until they're produced into the offspring. Going back to the pedigree talk, like if you got a one-off dog and he produces dogs that are not lazy, you know what I'm saying? Is that really a trait, or is he just the exception to the rule? So I look at, does this dog work? Okay, he worked. He threw puppies. Okay, they work for everybody else too, not just me. They work for this house. They work for Melee. They work for Big A. They work for JT. They work for whoever got them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. So it don't matter who they go to. It don't matter who they go to, what environment they in. They all doing this. You know what I'm saying? That's a trait to me.
no matter where you send them, they all, unless you correct it or you modify it behaviorally, that's a trait. A quality or a trait is a look. You know what I'm saying? Okay, no matter how I breed them, they throwing a lot of buckskins. That's a trait to me. You know what I'm saying? That's a stamp on it. And then I start looking at, if you want to start looking at pedigrees, you can look at siblings and see how well siblings produce. Is it a line of producers, or do you just have one dog that produces well? You know, but that's on you to do the research and basically, like I said, getting your pedigrees and see what dogs are throwing themselves more consistently over time. That's why, as much as I give people a hard time about having a bunch of dogs, the people that keep all their dogs, I can't tell them about their line like they can tell me about their line. I can't. You know what I mean? You can't. The people that keep at least one off of each litter, you can't tell them about them dogs that they kept. You can't. You know, so. Six Dogs say the cross. I was thinking that their drive came from the dam. Yeah. And I've had two lazy dogs get there that make working dogs, like dogs that are high energy dogs. You know, so is that a throwback trait? Or did you just breed the two dogs from both litters that didn't meet what the rest of the bloodline brings? You know, so it's a lot of those little misnomers in there and everything like that, man. But yeah, bro, this is good. It's good, man. Like you can take this conversation off of how you're breeding it and basically realize that, like, at the end of the day, man, no matter how much research you do, how much reading the pedigrees you do, man, the dog's gonna be a dog and the paper's gonna be paper, and that's what it is.
Yeah, man.
But
young fan.
What it do?
Casino 6 Dog, man.
Yeah, they in here. And we appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Because at first y'all was a little cold this morning at first, but y'all warmed up. I mean, y'all got it going, man. Good questions. This is just like a surface level entry thing into the pedigree talk, because at the end of the day, man, like, it don't matter. I have not met a pedigree yet or seen a pedigree yet that I haven't seen a YouTube video discrediting that pedigree. Not one. You know what I'm saying? Like, not one. So as far as pedigrees go, man, if I believe in the person and the dog and the person line up with what they saying their pedigree is, then I'm good with that. Mm-hmm. I'm good with that. Yeah, it's for sure 6 Dogs. But and it kind of makes me angry, man, because I'm like, I hear all these stories about Maurice Carver, and this is why I'm like, does it even matter? Man, they said Maurice, you knew you was getting lied to, Maurice. They said Earl Tudor had dogs from all over the place. You didn't know how it was bred, but it was good dogs. It was good dogs.
Yeah. That's what I'll be saying. Like, man, for me, and I know it gets deeper than that, but in my current situation, I know Michonne's father. I know Michonne's mother personally. I know them. I know Saki's father. I know Saki's mother. I know them, both of them personally. I know Bacardi's father. I know Bacardi's mother. I don't know them personally, but I know them. And that's all I need to know for me. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Yeah. You know, I don't need to know anything else. Visually, I've seen them. Most of them I put my hands on. And that's all I need for me personally. That's all I need to know. Moving forward, I know everything that is moving from my position moving forward. I know this for a fact. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that matters to me. If I try to go back into history and start trying to dive and do all that other stuff, man, it's no different than going back in our history right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of, any cultural history. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of told from one side, told from the other side. This is true, that ain't true. Controversy, this and this and that. I'd rather not get into that. My life is a lot more peaceful without it. I like to just focus on what I got in front of me and keep it moving forward. The past is the past. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I got 2 questions I gotta get, and I gotta get out of here. But so I'm gonna shut down about 5-10 minutes early today. But I'm gonna get the Lil J question. I'm gonna get the Red questions. So Lil J said, I got one to work herself. I can't keep her weight on. What do you recommend, Dre and Big A? So Dre's answer is this. I think Young Fam said, definitely make sure the dog is vaccinated appropriately. Sometimes I vaccinate more than once in a year, depending on how the dog's looking and what's going on. So definitely make sure medically the dog is correct. The second thing is if she can't keep weight on her and you want to keep weight on her, why do you want to keep weight on her? Answer some of that question, because this is what I would do. If I wanted a dog to be more bulky, more muscular, I wouldn't do cardiovascular training with the dog. I would simply do a lot of like spring pole and a lot of like weight pulling things to build muscle. To build muscle. I wouldn't be worried about fattening the dog up so much as just building muscle and then having the dog have a more muscular and a vascular appearance personally.
Yeah, no, change spot. Definitely a change spot, you know? Yeah.
But I want this dog dealing with weighted collars, things of that nature. Is what I would use for a dog like that. And then you got dogs that hold weight a lot. And those dogs, I would concentrate on the cardiovascular aspect of working that dog out on the caveat to that. And less on muscular building. Mind you, muscle's gonna burn fat. So if you have a fat dog, you can do both. But with a skinnier dog, I kind of just want to build up those shoulders and that back end and just accentuate that this dog is just slim, but definitely fit. I don't want the dog looking emaciated and sickly and all that stuff. And then Red, this is the last question I got time to answer. I got to roll. But Red said, "Hey Dre, have you ever used a fire department hose or a spring hose tub?" I have not. But I have definitely seen the fire hose tugs. They look good to me. I'm fearful of what it will do to the dog's teeth. Material is very similar to jute, what we use in the bite sleeve. I'm fearful of what it will do to my dog's teeth, so I have not used it. But there's a lot of companies that sell specifically fire hose tug style tugs for spring poles or just tugging with your dog in general. So I've definitely seen it encouraged, and even Amazon have fire hose style of tugs. So very valid question for working them. My dogs would tug on it because they pretty much anything I put in my hand and wave in front of their face, they're gonna tug. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a dog that'll tug on it, man, I say give it a try and then give us some feedback on it.
Yeah, man.
But Tony, salute. Casino, salute. RBG, salute. Big A, I gotta spill a little bit early, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say the prayer and then shut it down. And then tomorrow morning, we're doing the Apache Kennels, revisit that interview with Apache Kennels, because he said, hold on, he said, they have old hose, we'll give away some time. You can cut it into sections. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. And keep in mind that a lot of times if you fool with them or you're trying to find some firemen to talk to, this time of year, a lot of times the fire departments will go out and they'd be like at like street corners or whatever with a little bell. They raise funds around this time of the year, you know what I'm saying? Drop a little dollar in the bucket and ask me, hey man, I'm donating to y'all, man. Y'all got any old fire hose materials or anything like that? Just like Brother Red was saying. And you can make moves like that around your community, bro. Salute to Red for even bringing it up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, they definitely be out this time of year. And then the little Santa Claus in front of Walmart too. If you can donate to a misfortunate family and you got it like that, man, I say do what you can do, bro.
Yeah, man.
But let me hit y'all with this prayer because I got a meeting this morning. I'm at a new position, y'all. So my schedule is way more sporadic than what it has been. But here we go. May the Lord watch between you and me while we are absent one from another. Amen.
Amen.
For the love of the dogs.
For the love of the game.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Beat drop slow, head not flow. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sack it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Started with Boogeyman, ghost in the chain, locked in the game, never moved for fame. Old mountain lions run deep in the flame. Sock about the fire, Michonne brought the name, then came fat boy, muscle in the frame. Man, hard, put respect on the name. Shotgun smooth, but the work insane. Sugar sweet jit, but a bite ain't tame. Kiki in the back, had a game in the veins. Gatorade heavy, ran it straight through the rain. Red ninja close, watch him work in the lane. Renegade rider can't hold that chain. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sake from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breed for clout, we breed for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Ain't no luck, just grit and grind. Every dog here put work in time. Lady Rage got that fire in her eyes. Red alert taught us how to recognize signs. Blood heavy like a 2-ton chain. Everything proven, no need to explain. They asked what's in it, that yellow campaign. Built off real, we don't fake no strain. Second with the flame, it's shown lit the wick. If you know, then you know that line too slick. From the field to the show, every move so thick you can't blueprint this. It's the legacy pick. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Second from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breed for clout, we breed for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die.